your girl, Veronica Harris, on the Veronica Harris Show. And who do I have with me today?
Gregoire, the Jaguar, aka McGregor, also known as Mr. Gregory Harris. You can call me Coach Harris also.
Okay, Coach Harris. Okay. So today it's just the two of us.
Yep, I got to get some answers. Got a lot of questions. We've been gone for a while. So as we get back into recording, what season is this? What season are we in?
I don't know.
I got some questions. Let's see what you've been up to. You've been a ghost for a little bit, Ron. You've been doing a lot.
Yes, and so have you.
We gotta catch up.
Okay.
Catch the fans up. You know. Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right. So you're in front of the camera.
Yeah.
But I know you to be behind the camera. You do a lot of work behind the camera. Talk to me about all this work behind the camera.
Yes. So
you your own horn talking about look at this, look at that. What'd you say yourself was? What? I don't know. You were so impressed with your work behind the camera. Let's talk about that.
Okay. Well, yes. So I have been behind the camera a lot, and I have taken, I guess you could say, a page from mommy, and I've gotten to sports photography. and now I shoot primarily for a collegiate team, Division III collegiate team. And I also do media days for high school teams. Where I work, Edison High School, that's no big secret. Everybody knows I'm a health and PE teacher at Edison High School in Edison, New Jersey. And I do media days. And part of doing the media days is creating the senior banners for the senior day. You know, they make these big 18 by 52 banners. And so I create those banners. And like I said, I have a lot of fun doing that. Obviously, I can be followed on Instagram and you can see some of my work, but I'm very big on composite pictures. And for those of you that don't know, composite pictures is basically you just take images and you layer them until you get the image that you want. But I've also been doing a lot with AI as well.
Oh.
And I like AI because, you know, sometimes you have a vision of a background, but it may not exist, or because of the time of day that you're trying to do it, it may not exist. So you just get on that little AI image creator and you can create that background. And when I use AI, I only use AI for just if it's an image or if it's like an object or something that I can't find anywhere else, I can just, you know, type it in there. So it makes editing and it makes life a lot easier.
Now so you're not quite an amateur because they pay you to do this.
I do get paid,
but you're not a professional yet. Quite, or are you? No, excuse me. You're a pro. I can go see you in a museum. You publish. You got a billboard, huh?
Billboard. But you can say, I guess you can say I'm published because I publish myself as far as on Instagram. And I've been on various websites, and if that's what you mean. So, but even though I guess you could say, does being paid make me a professional? Could be. But I don't like to use the word, for myself, I don't use the word professional only because I'm always learning. And not to say that professionals don't learn, but I like to keep myself, not downplay myself, but I just like to stay humble and really stay grounded and just remind myself that no matter how good an image looks, no matter how much I want to pat myself on the back, there's just still so much to learn. It can almost be overwhelming.
Because I actually wanted to know, like, what's the next step from here, where you would go if you wanted to keep on elevating?
I'm glad you asked. No, the next step is to shoot an NBA Finals. That is my goal. That's you, yes. And even though, you know, print media is starting to go away and everything is mostly digital, like I grew up, you know, as far as liking sports photography through Sports Illustrated. Like I loved watching, you know, I paid for my own subscription to Sports Illustrated. And I looked at the pictures, and even the ones from back in the day, like I would try to find the archives. I mean, there were some really amazing photographs that were taken through Sports Illustrated. So my goal is to, it was to be in Sports Illustrated, but I don't know if it's still gonna be around. But definitely to shoot the NBA finals.
Okay. So yeah, interesting. What else you been up to? I know you went out of the country. Where'd you go?
Oh yeah, I've been out the country. So last year I was in France. This year, don't know where I'm going. So once I find out, you'll find out.
Okay.
But love going overseas to lead cultural exchange programs. There is a company called Experiment in International Living. We actually did a show with them before. So that is definitely something that I like to do and I will continue to do. So, wow, it must be that time of the day because the sun is coming in. So, oh yeah, it does make me look good though, right? But anyway,
You also you also was a TikTok chef. Oh, you thought I was gonna leave that part out? Yeah. Well, for those who don't know, this one here comes home and she got a recipe, and she'll butcher that recipe for about 4, 5 trips in a row. Call herself, what do you call it? Working on it? Or she don't want to make it like it is. She want to put her twist on it right away before she even know how it's gonna come out. But luckily for her mother eats everything. She's like Mike. He gonna eat it anyway. And I gotta be the one to bring her the bad news all the time. Like, hey, maybe you don't want to put this in it or that in it. But no, I'm joking. I'm joking. She does a good job coming down cooking for mom and dad.
nobody ever TikTok chef.
So how did you get into TikTok chef?
So, over TikTok, sun coming back, sun come out. But no, so what happened was over no, I guess I don't say COVID, but a lot of stuff, I don't know. TikTok seems to read my mind because it's like I think something, and then all of a sudden it shows up on TikTok. So I was thinking about food, and it kept coming across my algorithm or the For You page, and so all these recipes started coming. So I started saving them, and you know why? Because I don't cook.
Okay, I was about to ask you, are you cooking it? Or you just experimenting on us when you come here, or you
experimenting on
okay? You don't eat.
So usually I'm looking at it, and then I'll save it because I don't eat like that at home. I bet I eat very little when I'm at home because it's just me. So anyway, I saved all these recipes, and then when I came down, I figured, I helped mommy out, taking care of dad and everything. So I just started cooking these recipes, and some of them turned out pretty good. Someone turned out pretty good. Now they have some favorites that they like for me to cook, but it's funny because Daddy said, "Who taught you how to cook?" I said, "The internet." He said, "The internet did a good job."
It's pretty good, pretty good. But for some, I thought she was into health and wellness. She cooks the most fattening, boosted, cholesterol boosting dishes you could find. So she's getting at me because I'm putting on a little weight. I'm tablet, I'm slowing down. And she putting bacon, sausage, and biscuits on the on the green beans. And they're looking at me like, why you getting big? Look what you cook. Bacon and sausage on the green beans?
Well, we're not gonna do that no more.
Oven fried cabbage?
We're not gonna do
bacon and sausage on the cabbage?
Well, first of all, as you know, these are meals that are cooked all the time. Like
You cook them all the time. You cook them every time you come here.
But how often do I come here?
All the time. What?
When's the last time I was here?
Once a month, once every 6 weeks.
No, I come like once every 3 months.
Well, you're doing a good job, Chef. Keep it up. Now we got all that out of the way. We're gonna go to a commercial break and come back, and I got more roasting going on.
Can't believe this right now. An F? Are you serious? Come on now. I thought you better than that.
It's not gonna work. We have championships this weekend. We needed to be here. This is a big deal, right? You got to be performing at this level. The college coaches are gonna be there.
Yo, why are you texting my man right now? What do you mean? That's him. We don't have time. So you're gonna tell me just text me the same thing? Look, give him back someone else.
We all make more than 35,000 decisions a day. Most are small, but some can be life-changing.
When it comes to taking care of yourself, the most important choices can be hard to make. Like having a tough conversation instead of ignoring a buddy's call.
Or being there for support, not assuming things will just get better.
Or fighting through challenges rather than giving up.
And while we all face thousands of choices every day, there's one that can make all the difference. Today, make the decision to be there. For the veterans in your life, for your community, for yourself. Learn more at BeThereForVeterans.com.
Notice the tint on my glasses?
I didn't just now, till just now.
Yeah, the sound keep coming out.
Nice glasses.
Thank you. Yes, yes,
Give me a pair.
yes, yes. The sun will come out. It's back out. Shining. Shining, shining, shining.
Got it.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now our favorite subject. Health and wellness from a PE teacher's perspective.
Okay.
We got the first year PE teacher.
Yes.
We got 20 years. 20, how many years you been?
Why you gotta just give out my age? Like, just
Okay.
just say the veteran.
Tenured teacher.
Yes. Thank you.
All right.
Right.
What are you seeing in your classes, Veronica, that's interesting, that may jump out at you, that might have changed over the many decades you've been teaching? I'm sorry. Any new trends in your classes?
Well, I like to speak positive about, the trends, but what I can really say is that it's more about student choice, student voice. So it's not just us coming in and saying it's November, so we're doing football. It's about, these are some options that we have laid out for you, and for the students to pick out an option that best suits them, because we want them to be productive. We want them to enjoy what they're doing. So we feel, research has shown in education about, if you let the students speak, let them have their voice, that you will get more participation. And I'm summarizing here, really summarizing.
And you agree with that? That they need a voice?
No, I mean, yes, is good in certain circumstances. Like, for instance, some of my classes, I have, say like if I have a class of 40 kids total, then that may lend itself to where a student voice is okay. However, if I have a class of 60 students, and maybe I'm teaching with another class. So it could be a total of maybe 100, maybe up to 120 students on the floor.
Mhm.
We ain't got time for student voice, because it's almost like, you have to have military precision. You're moving like a legion of people. And we ain't got time for student voice at that point. It's like, this is what we're doing.
We'll come back to that.
Okay.
I want to share about my PE class. One thing I'm seeing at my PE classes is that kids are often injured. So I see a lot of kids coming with a note from the doctor that they can't participate, and ankles, shin splints, all the injuries that I played through.
Mm.
And I'm sure you played through. A lot of our generations played through these type of injuries. Are these? I don't know what to make of. Is it they're fragile, or were we stupid for playing through it? Why my foot hurt now? Because I played through too many injuries when I was young.
Maybe. I mean, who's to say? It could be. However, I would also like to say that, parents ain't had time to go taking us to the doctors all the time. Mommy was a 24-hour rule. It was like if we were hurt, she said, "Well, let me know how you feel 24 hours from now," before she would take us to the doctor. I had a 3rd-degree sprain, and she waited 24 hours before she took me to the doctor.
You call her negligent? Neglect? Was that child neglect?
Looking back on it now, that's probably what you would call it. But mommy was probably like, you know what, she just wanted to make sure that, we were really injured. Although why would we fake it? But,
Glad you put it there.
Okay.
Now, next question. Though you're not a parent, but you were parented.
Yes.
And the topic came up in one discussion I was having about pushing your kids into sports.
Mm.
And it's a lot now. I mean, the parent involvement now is a lot. Before, you could say, okay, you want to play football? You go to the neighborhood rec center, you can walk there, practice, come back, play one game. Now, if you're playing a sport, you're training, you go to practices, you're driving on the weekends and standing. So it's a lot, man. Just to have your kid involved in sports is a lot.
Right.
Is it worth it? Especially if you know this kid isn't going to be able to go to even a collegiate level.
You know what? I think that's a question each family has to figure out for themselves. I mean, who am I to say if it's worth it or not? I mean, because a lot of times when you play sports, it's not so much about the end. It's not so much about what levels you get to. It's about, the memories that are made along the way, the people that you're meeting, mentors that you may come across that may play a role throughout your life or at some point in your life. So, and that probably would not have happened if the child was not involved in that activity. Sport activity could be Girl Scouts, could be whatever. So really every family has to make that decision for themselves. What I will say is families should be careful not to throw all their eggs in one basket, if you will, meaning that no family should go bankrupt over a sport dream. I'm sorry. I just don't think that should happen unless you have a good indication that, that child is going to be special in some way, shape, or form. Now, special could mean getting a full scholarship to college, getting their college paid for. Because the way college costs now, that little 100,000 that you may invest in will be far surpassed by the 300,000 you're saving in college tuition fees and stuff like that. So, that's what I'm saying. It's like you really have to be intentional and you have to be, you know, put it this way. Youth sports is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And there's a lot of people out here profiting off telling parents that your kid can be the next this, that, this, that, this. Parents, don't let yourself be fooled. You know your child as well as anybody else. Better than any trainer, any coach could. Okay? Especially if you've really been paying attention to that child. So please don't because they're going to tell you what you want to hear because they want to get your money. But if you know your child is not one for getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go training, then why even put yourself and the child through it? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I can see what you mean by that. And I think it's not that the trainer has to sell a dream to the parent. The parent already has the dream.
Sometimes, but I think sometimes these trainers, they they're here to sell you something. So they're going to say whatever it is to get you to buy their product, their services, or whatever. And that's not to say that all trainers do that or that's what they're out to do. But listen, when there's money to be made, people are going to make it. And there has to be somebody who's willing to buy. And unfortunately, parents and these sport dreams or hoop dreams, if you want to call them, are easy sell, in my opinion.
The trends.
Yeah.
You said the voice.
Yeah.
Kid comes to you.
Yeah.
Imagine you had a kid. Kid comes to you.
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, they know better.
You started your kid in track and field at the age of, when did you start?
I started at 9.
Kid started at 8.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Mhm.
Not great.
Mhm.
Potential to be great.
Mhm.
You can see it in them.
Mhm.
But they're not quite there yet.
Mhm.
They're teetering on the edge. One day they want to do it, one day they don't.
Mhm.
You know, they in the phone all the time. Social media is just a big distraction.
Mhm.
Are you pulling them out or are you pushing them in?
I will push. I will try to push because, even though we say kids, they have their own mind and stuff like that, they're not fully mature. They don't have the requisite decision-making abilities or capabilities to really decide if they want to do something or not, because they're fickle. They change with the wind. So I'm going to push them. I'm going to set standards for them. However, if they consistently show me that they don't want it, then at some point, when the season is over, I'm saying, listen, the season is over. If you don't want to do this anymore, you don't have to. We'll find something else for you to do. And then hopefully, we may have to jump around in a few things. They say you got to kiss a lot of frogs before you find the prince. So we'll probably kiss some frogs. But then hopefully in that process, they will find the thing that they really like to do. And then we can just go. And you know what? It won't be me pushing because they'll want it so much that all I'm there to do is just to provide the support. That's it. That's all I got to do. I think that, we talk about teachers. We don't want to be the sage on the stage. We want to be the guide on the side. So sometimes in the beginning, we do have to be that sage on the stage, but we want to get to the point where they want it enough, they're capable enough that we can just be there to provide that support. Yeah, I don't want to have to drag somebody kicking and screaming. And if I do, I only want to have to do it for a short period of time because then they get it.
I've heard somebody say well, if you pick up a sport in their household, you have to do it you got to see it through to 18. Then you can find out. So I'm thinking you know what? I like that where, if you pick up a sport in elementary school, do it through high school. Don't do it 2-3 years. And then, like you said, you get fickle and you want to fall off. Okay, no, we're going to finish it through high school, and then we can pivot. If you start in high school, let's, stick with it. Because you get those memories, you get those relationships, you learn those life lessons.
But what if
And then at 18, pivot.
But what if they could have found something else in high school that they didn't need to pivot from? But because you kept them in the team and they're thinking like, well, I have to do this because mom and dad want me to do this. I say you good for a season. Like we're not gonna quit in the middle of it. No. We made a commitment. Because nobody makes a commitment to do it for all 4 years. You commit for that season. You know? So that's your contract for that season. And then if you really don't like it, then we're not going to waste time with it. We're going to find something else. Like I'd rather you be finding something else so you and hopefully you'll hit on that thing that you truly love to do as opposed to you like vaccinated.
Okay.
Dibbling and dabbling.
What's some of those possible something else?
Well, some of those possible something else is they'll say like somebody they think they really like basketball.
Because I say, if it ain't athletics, then what are you gonna get into? You can say STEM, you can say chess club, but the chess club, I've been visited some chess club. You're not getting what you need to get. Like it's not keeping you busy enough. It's not keeping you busy enough. The chess club meets once a week. It's not keeping you busy enough. Athletics keep you out of trouble.
No.
That's big. You're busy. You're so busy, you're out of trouble. And that's why you, as a parent, you put your kid in athletics because you're trying to keep them out of trouble. Trying to keep them occupied.
First of
Because
all,
they're going over their friend's house after school. They ain't just studying. Studying anatomy. Studying biology.
First of all,
You gotta keep them supposed to keep them busy.
First of
And
all,
you want to see what you want to send them to. Book club? Book club ain't gonna get them.
if you would let me finish. First of all, if you have to keep them out of trouble, then you ain't trained them right.
Not true.
That's true.
Not true.
Well, that's somewhat true.
Oh.
Well, you should, because they should know better. But I'm not saying they're not
A teenage kid should know better. A teenage kid ain't gonna try to dibble and dabble.
Yeah, for the most part, they may dibble, they may dabble. However, if you really train them and listen, a lot of stuff I ain't do just for the simple fact I ain't want to hear mommy's mouth. I ain't want to get in trouble. I wanted no parts of it.
What about the stuff you did do that you wasn't supposed to do?
But see, that wasn't much of anything. But anyway, moving on. And obviously,
Put a sign up over my head that says, "Don't believe that." Can we put some of that? Put that in production.
Anyway,
Bubble, come on here, G-Cat.
why I don't like you. But anyway, what I'm saying is that these kind of clubs, like we have the FCCLA, which is the Family Consumer something, but it's about, culinary arts. It's about fashion. It's about nutrition. It's about a lot of different things. And they have all these competitions. They always are doing something. FCCLA Club, the DECA Club, they're always doing something. The Honor Society, I'm telling you, every day after school, there is something going on at my school that has nothing to do with athletics. Student council, they always doing something. The band, they're always doing something.
I can go with the band. I can go with
the theater department, always doing something. You have the people in dance, they're always preparing for something. So your school must not have been putting in the effort.
I do, you know what I do see at my school? And I was surprised. I'm talking about school I'm at now.
Okay.
Nobody goes home.
There's something to do at the school.
It's everybody's like, why everybody's still here? A lot of people are there for athletics, and a lot of people are there for, I don't know what they're there for, they're still there. And I used to go to visit teachers afterwards, because I was trying to, debrief with them after I observed their class. And I'm like, are you getting paid to be here after school? It's like, wow, these kids still here in your class. Mm-hmm. So, to your point, yes, it's other stuff to do. And then it's old grown 50-year-old woman.
That's my age. All right, that's it. As always, we like to say at the Veronica Harris Show, Deuces.